Hey guys, this is Ricky, and check out my Walksnail Pavo Pico now with SpeedyBee Meteor LED goodness. I've remapped a resource so that I can use my trim switch number 5 to change the LEDs. If I want to turn them off, or I can turn them back on. I had room under the battery tray to mount the SpeedyBee Meteor LED controller. Here's how I soldered everything up. Because my BetaFPV all-in-one doesn't have Bluetooth, I soldered the TX to R6 and then the RX to T6, because not only can I control the LEDs with the SpeedyBee app, I can also configure the flight controller with the SpeedyBee app. But I don't want to be tied to my phone to change or turn the LED lights on or off. I wanted to be able to use my transmitter. So that's why I soldered this, I guess it's the boot pad, over to T1. I just needed to pick one of these pads that I can remap the resource to. I could have also maybe chosen the LED strip pad right here, and I'll show you that later. Here's how I set up my radio to use the trim number 5 switch as a momentary switch. The first thing that I did is I went into the flight modes and I disabled trim switch number 5. The reason that I disabled this switch is because of this right here.
Trim center.
I didn't want to hear that over and over as I was using the momentary switch. Then over here in special functions, I made it so that every time I hit up on trim switch number 5, it makes channel 10 go to 100, and it also beeps. So when I hold the up on trim switch number 5, you see both of those light up. And when I hit down, it goes to negative 100. And so you can see that if we go to the output tabs and we look at channel number 10, it goes to 100. And then as soon as I let off the trim switch, it goes back down to the middle. And if I go down, it goes to negative 100. The reason that I did that is to switch the LEDs to something else, you just tap the button momentarily. But if you want to turn it on or off, you hold the trim switch button down for 2 seconds, and then the lights go off. Here's how we set everything up in BetaFlight. So if you look at my ports tab, because I soldered it to UART number 1, I don't have anything on UART number 1. UART number 6, I have MSP configured because this is my Bluetooth. And then UART number 4 has MSP configured because that's what I have my Walksnail unit plugged into. If you look at the receiver tab, I want to see which aux channel 10 is. So in this case, it looks like channel 10 is aux number 6. So when I go up, it goes to 2000. When I go down, it goes to 1000. So in the modes tab, I have this new one called user number 1, and it is linked to the pin IO. So if I do the trim switch up, it lights up, it goes to 2000, or if I go down, it goes down. It doesn't really change anything because this is just like a button. So here is how I did that. First thing we need to do is see what resources you have. So I'm going to type in resource. And on mine, I've already done this. I've already moved resource TX1, which used to be pin 09, to pin IO1. I've already done that. So this is the old version. It used to look just like this. I had resource TX number 1, and you need to make note of whatever pin you're using. And then down here at the bottom, where you can see right after the SD card detect, and it says SD card detect right here, I don't have this pin IO because I've already done this. But let's say I wanted to solder this one to that LED pin, just so we can go over this. So I typed in resource, and then the LED strip pin is B06. So the 3 commands that I need to do, the first one is I need to free up that resource. So since I've already done this with TX1, I'm going to show you what it looks like with the LED strip. So the first thing that you do is you type in resource. The LED strip 1 is none. So I'm looking up here. I'm remembering that it's B06 is the one I need to reassign. So the first thing that you do is you type in that, and then it says the resource is freed. So how you reassign that pin B06 to pin IO number 1 is you type in this. Resource pin IO 1 is now going to be B06. And then the last step that you need to do is, I guess you have 4 users or 4 modes that you can do. So the one that you are going to type in is set the pin IO box, and 255 means you're not using it. 40 is user 1, 41 I guess is user 2, 42 is user 3. So I picked 40, and then you just hit enter. And then so now you're going to have a tab in your modes tab that says user 1 for pin IO 1. Now you would hit save. I'm not going to do that because I've already done this, but those are the steps that you need to do if you want to control your LED lights with your transmitter. I hope this helps. I've remapped a resource so that I can use my trim switch number 5 to change the LEDs. If I want to turn them off, or I can turn them back on. Pretty cool.